The state of maturity of the compost we use is very important because once it is mature, it presents the lowest food safety risk and it gives the best benefit to our crops. As compost ages, it produces CO2 and ammonia. Throughout this process, there may be more CO2 or more ammonia. Once both of these compounds level out and reach a similar level, this indicates that the compost is mature and ready to be used. The Solvita Basic Compost Maturity Test uses indicators to estimate at what point the CO2 and the ammonia cycle are at in order to give us a good idea of what stage of maturity the compost is. The Solvita Basic Compost Maturity Test contains the following: 6 incubation jars, 6 high CO2 detector probes, 6 ammonia detector probes, color chart for recording CO2 and ammonia probes, and an instruction manual with an interpretation guide. Step 1. Open one of the incubation jars and with your hand start filling up the jar until the fill line and lightly tap the jar so that the compost falls into place and is somewhat compacted. Step 2. Take out one of the high CO2 detector probes and place the probe from the skinny part inside the compost in the jar so that the color paddle can be viewed from the outside of the jar. Step 3. Immediately then open the ammonia detector probe and insert it into the compost inside the jar so the color paddle can be viewed from outside of the jar. Step 4. Take the lid of the incubation jar and seal it tightly. Then make sure to record the start time and the name of the sample on the panel at the top of the jar's lid. Step 5. Leave the jar for 4 hours at room temperature, 25 degrees Celsius or 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Step 6. After the incubation period, remove the lid of the incubation jar and remove the CO2 detection probe. Meanwhile, take the color chart provided with the kit materials. Turn the color chart to the CO2 side and record the number of the color chart that seems most similar with the CO2 detector probe. Step 8. Grab the ammonia paddle, then take the color chart and turn it to the ammonia side and record the number of the color chart that seems most similar with the ammonia detector probe. The numbers obtained from both probes serve to determine the compost maturity using the Compost Maturity Index. As you can see on the chart below, the 5 grades or levels of maturity are raw material, very active composting, active compost, advanced composting, and practical maturity. With the grade of practical maturity being the desired result of the composting process and representing a CMI of greater than 6. For people that want more accurate readings of the color scale, Solvita also sells a color reader that gives you more exact measurements of the CO2 and ammonia content.